It's Jared. How fast did y'all kind of bounce back or shake off that loss at LSU? I mean, just from talking with Dart soon after that, it looked like it was going to be one that's going to stick with y'all for a little while.
Yeah, we put the game to bed. Sunday came in, or Sunday we had off, and then Monday came in and just put the game to bed and just, moved on to our install for Oklahoma and what we wanted to get better at and all the small stuff we needed to focus on going into the bye week that we needed to get better at. So, obviously games like that hurt, but you got to go one snap and clear and move on to the next game.
Maybe from the outside, it seems really easy to think, oh, they had a bye week, complete reset mentally, physically. But I guess how much of the bye week is, just getting right physically or mentally? What was that process like?
Yeah, that's a huge part of the bye week, just living in the training room and getting your body right and staying in the cold tub, staying with the training staff. And then on the field, just kind of having that time to get back to the basics and focus on the smaller stuff that, you got time to do more tackling drills and do more footwork stuff and having time to be able to focus on all that little stuff that kind of gets muddied through the fog of war. So, yeah, getting back to the basics was good for us.
I guess Pooh said y'all today was a very good practice. Y'all were, especially on defense, communication was high and everybody was kind of focused on little things. Have y'all seen just all y'all as a team kind of lock in more starting this week?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you pair that with, having some time to let the body rest. I feel like everybody's fresh and we got guys with a lot of energy and guys that have been wanting to get back into the full pads and get back out there and practice and hit and get through our stuff. So, yeah, very, very excited to come out to practice this Tuesday, and I felt like we had a great day.
As a defensive player, just preparation kind of changed a little bit once you figure out there's a different offensive coordinator calling plays for the team that you're playing this week?
Yes and no. I mean, they're obviously, nobody's going to put in an entire offense in a week. He might have some of his go-tos that he brings along, but, for the most part, it's going to be, fairly similar to, what they've been living in all year.
Do you feel like LSU's offensive line was the best you guys are going to see all year, and what do you kind of make of Oklahoma's offensive line?
Those were, good players, and I feel like Oklahoma has good players too. So, yeah, we just are trying to go in every week with our coaching points and our breakdown of the pass protection and the run schemes and do what the coaches tell us to do, man. To play blocks how the coaches are telling us to play blocks, run the plays that the coaches want us to run. So, for that, we can run against anybody.
What do you think it says about the program, like transfers like Pooh Paul, still very bought into this season?
I don't know. What do you mean?
I guess, are you seeing a lot of these new transfers? It seems like with this year's class, you guys pushed all the chips to the table. Do you still see, seems like he's bought in, do you still see a lot of those defensive transfers bought into what?
I don't think I see any quitters is what I feel like you're kind of insinuating. I don't feel like there were any quitters on teams in the past from any losses. I don't feel like I've ever been on teams here with guys like that who would just quit on you mid-season because of a loss. We have been together and doing this thing for 7-8 months now since spring ball, fall camp, and stuff like that. It is no quit on my brother, so, yeah.
Do you think that speaks to the character of transfers you guys seek?
I just think that, they're good dudes. They're solid guys. I think that speaks to the culture we have set in place, and they assimilate to it quick. But, yeah, those are high-character guys for sure.
I'm writing something on JJ, and I was just curious, is there an element to when he gets a carry or when he gets a touchdown, does it feel like the whole line scores a touchdown? Or I guess, what's that like for the rest of the guys?
No, it definitely gives me some juice, and that next drive going out, we got juice, and, JJ's a superstar, so it kind of brings that superstar element to the defensive side of the ball.
Do you have to rep against him much in practice? I don't know how much he's able to practice that or against you guys, against the ones. But
yeah, he takes some reps with the offense throughout practice. They don't just call on him on Saturday with no prior experience. So that we get to go against him, and me and TJ the other day were getting into it with him because through all of spring ball and the fall camp, JJ really only got stood up a couple of times. and once was TJ and one was me. So, you know, we both felt like we got our lick in, so we're good. You know what I mean? He can do whatever he wants, score as many times as he wants. I know I got one over him, so. But, yeah, that definitely turns us up. Solid.